Welcome to Neecs After Hours podcast. I have two very special guests here with me today. I'm very, very excited. These guys are absolutely killing it right now, and I've been very excited to have this interview with them. I'm here with Culture Kicks. I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Alex.
Chase.
And what these guys are doing right now on these social media platforms is fucking crazy. You know, a lot of you guys, you see these guys on platforms that do this stuff, it doesn't seem real. These guys are doing it. So I want to kind of get in depth with what these guys are doing numbers-wise and show you how they've built their business from being in this massive facility right now to being in a basement less than a year ago. So, guys, what is Culture Kicks?
I mean, Chase, I'll probably let you start it off just because you really did bring the company. Chase, again, both of us, I'll just kind of preface this. We started working a full-time job. Chase had Culture Kicks as a side hustle. Came to me when I was working a full-time job and said, hey, I haven't really asked a lot of people before if they'd want to be a partner in something that I want to go do full-time. Actually, in the last video we just dropped, we talked about the bar that we met at and just kind of like had the idea of Culture Kicks, but give them the rundown, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I'll start it from the beginning. It was back in like the COVID time, March 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. That's when kind of the boom of the sneaker industry was happening. You had The Last Dance, obviously being aired, and just shoes. The shoe market was going crazy, right? And I was buying a shit ton of shoes for personal, like a lot of shoes for my personal. And my girl actually told me, she was like, Chase, like, you have too many shoes. Like, you got to start selling some of these. And my roommate actually was like, said the same thing pretty much, like, dude, you should sell some of these, like, whatever, you'll be able to get a lot of money out of them, especially with, you know, the rise in markets. Shit was just, mids were going for dummy amount of money.
Yep.
And, you know, I thought about, all right, well, how do I, you know, sell these shoes? What platform should I get on, right? Instagram was number one. And I thought about the name Culture Kicks, like getting just the whole sneaker culture just embodied into one brand. And, you know, I remember even sketching out, like, I was in my bed, like, sketching out the whole emblem and design of Culture Kicks, the brand. And then from there, like, I started off with maybe, like, 10 to 12 pairs of shoes I was selling.
10 to 12 pairs of these guys. Oh, you'll see behind the scenes what they have now. It's incredible. It's crazy.
Yeah, so, like, 10 to 12 pairs of shoes. And I remember, like, the Core Purple. Actually, it's funny, I'm wearing them right now. Core Purple 2.0s were dropping. And made my brother and my girl, like, go and enter the sneakers and all that stuff.
Of course.
And then we dropped it on Instagram. I had my buddy, Chris Martin, who was, like, the first photographer on the channel or on the page.
Shout out to Chris.
Shout out to C-Mart. Had him taking all the pictures and everything. And I remember, like, our first couple sales was, like, took me like a month to sell my first pair of shoes. And, you know, this is all from the beginning, of course, like, took a month to, like, sell my first pair of shoes. And after that, like, things just started moving. I had some friends that were in the social media game, Swag Food Philly, shout out to them as well. We did our first giveaway, like a UNC Jordan 1, or the Obsidians, back when TikTok was busting.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, like, those were just, like, the staple. And we shot those right on Broad Street, and we did a giveaway. Ran up like 1,000 followers.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was like the first giveaway that we did. And then ever since then, you know, it's kind of been a grind just on Instagram where I was just selling shoes, uploading what I was selling. So, shoes were selling online. We were doing like the whole thing where just like making Instagram stories and
Thursday night story sales, baby.
Thursday night story sales, we'll get into that.
They loved Chase's hand. They needed to see Chase's hand for it to sell. It wouldn't sell unless he was holding it.
Exactly. So,
the Venmos, the addresses. Yo, send Addy, bro. Is the payment through? Because it's about to be sold. Even though no one on the other end is really trying to cop it.
I think a big thing, too, like you said, it took him a month to sell his first shoe. It didn't. It wasn't like he didn't have people he was already going to. A lot of these guys have built connections and stuff like that. They built it from the ground up. Taking a month to sell your first shoe, it could really be
discouraging.
Exactly, it make you want to like get angry.
Well, it's funny. Sorry, Chase, cut you off. But even where we just met, we both left that off like in an Applebee's parking lot off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Okay, like literally, like I still to this day I sold to Chase.
Yes.
All the times I sold to Chase. But like, if you're not going out there and really trying, like that's the craziest thing. Like I remember to this day sitting in high school, right, and hearing like these motivational speakers come through and tell you, oh, you can put your mind to anything, you achieve it. But like literally, like you just have to get out there and work and try and swing. Like if you don't take a shot, like you're never gonna, achieve anything. And like, of course, it's maybe sometimes scary to post a shoe online and like maybe nobody wants to bite it, but it only takes one. It only takes one sale. You're like,
I think a big thing is too is when you start posting things, people are going to make comments, and you can't get away from it. You're like, what the fuck's this guy doing posting shoes? He looks like a fucking loser.
Yeah.
You can't worry about people saying that shit, because you know what? When you start building the audience, those are going to be the same people who are going to try to get in your friend group.
Absolutely. I was going to just say too, like even starting the page, right, and I was working full-time job. I was working at a pharmaceutical company, and so my friends were like, what are you doing, like this whole like sneaker thing on the side? So like a lot of people were kind of just like, it makes it discouraging because people don't support like the friends that you had since you were young, right?
They don't see the vision.
They don't see the vision of it. And honestly, me, I started off like, I knew where this company could get to because I knew like my work ethic, like my drive, like I was a college athlete, like I knew what it took once I put my mind to something, how to get there. So just like rewinding back, like maybe like 1,000 followers right on the Instagram, selling. I actually someone tried to buy like a pair of DMP6s off me, and it was a fake sale, so they were trying to scam me. It was like my first ever sale. I'm like already getting scammed.
There's a lot of roadblocks on the way.
A lot
up
of roadblocks
that could just make you stop, like right there.
Yeah.
Now, you said you met in an Applebee's parking lot.
Yeah.
When did your connection really bloom? Like, after that happened, did you guys continue talking to each other? Like, when did you guys know, like, wow, I want to work together?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just always really easy business, like every single time.
Business.
It's just you had those, like, one or two guys who you could just count on, okay, if nobody's moving it to my clientele, because I had like my own kind of, he had his own, then I'll just bulk move it for like a good price to them because it's convenient. I drive there, cash there, whatever. I'd probably say like, probably took like 4, 5, 6 months of that. And then we just kind of like, you have to almost take a jump off the ledge where you're like, you kind of are trusting, and it can go totally south, but also it can go great. And like, we kind of just had this like vibe, like, I don't know, both like good dudes, like, went to a couple sneaker shows. Like, we're actually, it's funny, like in the earliest days I'm on there buying like one pair of New York Dunks from them. But I mean, seriously, it's almost like when you go to a college, you're just like, I have a good vibe about this place, I'm gonna go here, like whatever. And it ended up working out, and he just basically said like, I'm gonna do this full time, if you want to come with me, like your strong suits work very well for the marketing aspect side of it. Like I can continue the sneaker and whatever, we both know how to buy, so we're like, fuck it, let's try it. And
I think what's really cool is like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. The way these two interact, it's like they've been lifelong friends. And they've just met each other, which is like crazy to me. Like, they seem like they're almost family. So it's cool to see where this sneaker community has came and, risen from, having 1,000 followers to, what are you guys at now?
21 something.
22.
Right? 22K.
Yeah, 22K on IG, but almost 30K on Whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's a great, segue here. Out of all your selling platforms, it seems like Whatnot has really increased your sales. Mm-hmm. What are some things that the viewers want to know about Whatnot? Like, what do you enjoy about the platform?
I think, like, Chase, take it from here, but it's so unparalleled to every other selling platform where you can just interact with them one-on-one, and every single person feels like they're your best friend. And every single person, like, you buy from them just like you were in a store. So, like, obviously you hear the live auctioning and everything like that, but it really is a crazy, tight-knit community when you hold a shoe and you're like, here you go, brother. Like, buy this. And if you don't buy this, the guy to the left and right is going to buy it from you. So, of course, the competitive nature comes out to the maxes. But you really build a community as far as like every single first-time customer, you get a free t-shirt, Culture Kicks t-shirt. There were times in the beginning, guys, where like, again, it's hard to have a partner and like not disagree on everything, but like Chase is definitely sometimes thinks better overall for the business, where I'm like, we got aggressive build on growth, and like I'm giving t-shirts when like we probably can't afford in the very beginning to give every person.
That's a great thing to say. When you guys see these giveaways, you think they're like, they get them for free. T-shirts aren't cheap. You got to buy them, then you give them away, then you guys still aren't happy. So it's funny to see that you say that they can't afford the T-shirts.
But it comes all like an avalanche at the end, and like you put that work in and that emotion, and now we're like seeing unparalleled growth because of all those T-shirts. Think about it, like shit. There's probably 5,000 to 10,000 T-shirts out there, people wearing culture shirts, and it's like,
Free
in the beginning,
advertisement.
we were making $30 a pop on a culture story sale after we shipped them the label and sent them a T-shirt. But now it's adding, and they come back to Whatnot, run it up. There's sponsorships, 24-hour stream tomorrow.
I was gonna say there's no like better, I feel like, platform than just like live streaming.
Yes.
Live streaming is gonna be massive in the future, and even now, right now, it's just a massive way to be able to either sell inventory, right, interact with your fans, interact with people, your community. Like there's just nothing like it. So any streaming platform like Whatnot Network we're on as well, it's just uncomparable to like, all right, back 5 months ago when we weren't on the platform, when we were, selling, whether it be on our website or selling to like meetups, right, or going to like the Wells Fargo Center. Like we'll sell at the Wells Fargo games, like Flyers games.
But
and
what's
stuff
funny
like that.
is, so we would
Nothing beats it, man.
Nothing beats it, and we used to say, yeah, we're the official partner of the Wells Fargo Center selling, because nobody ever sold sneakers live during a game for Flyers games, everything under that roof before us, and now we turn it down because going live on Whatnot is so much better for us as a business, growing to all of our platforms. Like, I was going to say this for you, Neecs, like, you've had a store, you know what it's like to have 100 people come through in a day, and 99 of them don't actually want to buy a shoe. They just
There's a
want to waste
lot of
their time.
window shoppers when you see this stuff. A lot of you guys, when you have especially a storefront, a regular consumer doesn't understand the sneaker market. So if a mother comes in with her son, and she sees a $4 pair of shoes, it's not normal to like a normal person, it's not sustainable. So when you're on these online platforms like Whatnot Network, people know the sneaker market. You know what I mean? So people know the value of certain shoes. So it's really cool to see now that you guys are on Whatnot. Just started back in October, and where you guys are at now, it's fucking awesome. Now, what made you choose Whatnot over the other ones?
They actually reached out to us. And it's funny when it happened too, because it was during a time where Chase and I were actually starting to say, like, dude, we're going to these shows, like, buying, like, 20,000 worth and just trying to sell it. And, like, if it doesn't sell, like, what do? We just bring it to the next show and wholesale it. And it's hard in this industry, as we talk about a lot, to, like, adapt to the current changing trends, make all your customers super happy and love you, and continue growing as a business and hiring new employees. And Whatnot, that's what made us choose it. We kept finding that it was helping as far as building our YouTube, building all these other platforms, but also we were making money and thinking of new creative ways to, sell and grow our brand. All in one.
And what I think they do good on Whatnot is they are actually selling sneakers. Back in the day when I was on Whatnot, it has changed tremendously.
For sure.
A lot of these guys who are on the platform now, and ladies, a lot of them don't have a personality, and you're not engaging with them.
Yeah.
When these guys go live, it's like electrifying. You get excited, you want to spend money, and nobody wants to spend money with somebody who just doesn't feel like they're there. They're bitching, oh, this didn't sell for this didn't sell for that. These guys know the risk when they go up there. They're selling the mystery boxes, and they're getting good items. So
for sure. I was going to say, touching on the mystery box games and everything, like input cost for us is around like 18, 20 G's, every single show. So if we don't sell out of those mystery boxes, or if they're not selling at all, like that's a tough hit for us as a business. So we do take a lot of risk doing them, but like you got to, when that camera turns on, it's a different game. It's like playing a sport.
I was going to say,
Business
we are
is a sport. So we're, getting ready. We're trying to be as entertaining as possible, and just making it a show, making it like it's a one-time. It's your first time ever on Whatnot. We want to make it memorable. You know what I mean? So we definitely take a lot of pride in that.
And that's the thing with Whatnot, though, too, which scares a lot of sellers away, is like it is a 10% fee. So think about this: we started at like under $200. The average floor is around $250, right? So then you lose like $30, 25 plus shipping, whatever. If it
shipping
doesn't sell,
materials aren't free either.
Those are not free.
And here's the thing: shipping materials aren't free. The people to actually ship the items aren't free. If the box doesn't go for like $260, $280, then after fees, you're below the floor that you have to promise, or you're going to get bad ratings. So you also have to balance keeping your ratings high. It's incredibly hard. And that's why I told Neecs before this offline, it's like, I could tell you the exact way how to build this game, and 99.9% of everyone out there still wouldn't be able to do it more than once. Because to set up, to run it, to ship it out after, to deal with all the headaches that potentially come through, God forbid someone steals your package.
UPS or the post office loses it. There's just certain things that are out of your control.
So many.
And you guys think that they can control the shipping if a package shows up damaged, like they damaged it. You know what I mean? Like,
and we'll get every 2-star review in the world for a dented corner on a box that a guy chucked like a, what do you call it, an Australian
Frisbee or something.
Yeah.
And I think what's funny now is Whatnot out of the DM system, which I think is a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
So you get all these guys under the sun, saying, what the fuck, cursing you out, like going on, like they didn't control it. They're shipping out your items. They're showing you they're shipped out. How can they control how the post office gets it to your house?
Yeah.
And then you leave them a 1-star review, and then you buy from them again. This doesn't make sense.
Who, by the way, picks it up from our door right here in a brand new box, straight fresh from Uline.
Yeah, literally.
But it is what it is. Again, it's sales. We love it. It comes with the good and the bad.
Of course.
People tag us randomly just wearing our shirts, obviously, that found us on Whatnot. You don't run
That's a great feeling.
Yeah, it's amazing. You don't want, and that's the key too, to spice it up. As Chase was saying earlier, like you run a Monday show, a Saturday show where you get deals. So we'll run these from like $1, right? And you'll probably get them for $300 under. But it's a first-time customer. They feel good getting it in person. They come back, they buy 5 mystery boxes. More than likely, we'll win because 100 people are trying to buy the same box.
Right.
And the big thing is, too, when you're buying the mystery box, it's not the Royal One scam. These guys are actually giving you items that are worth value.
Exactly.
As you can see, we have some Dior's in front of me. We have some crawfishes. We have some trophy rooms. You're not getting a $70 dunk that they say is worth $400.
No.
You're actually getting items that are legitimate and,
Dead stock.
Dead stock. You
Everything.
can't beat it.
Everything's brand new.
Yeah.
That's
For
why we've seen the
$400.
growth. That's why we've seen the growth we have too, Neecs. Because I think like people come on and they say, even when we go through and we love to take care of other streamers too. Go tip them $100. That's another cool thing about being part of the Whatnot community. We'll go on and they'll say right away, best mystery boxes you guys have ever seen. But people hear the 2 words mystery box and they think NFT, scam, whatever.
Right.
It's like no, like. You get literally Mitchell and Ness apparel that's like $150.
That's authentic. It's not fake Mitchell.
Yeah.
Stamped.
Not from the China store.
Which, by the way, I think I saw some at one of the shows this weekend. And a shoe, a brand new Jordan or Dunk in every box. So it's like, why would you not take the risk-free shot at a Dior 1 being in your box? So that's why I think we've seen kind of some of that growth unparalleled to other people who have to sell 15,000 items from $1. We've gotten to the same following, if not more, with selling a 4th. So,
And I think a big thing the audience wants to know, everybody viewing this, a lot of you guys want to know how to resell, how to get into the game. Can you guys say where you've came from Whatnot, saying, your smallest stream, what you started out with, to now, to what you had your biggest stream, like, money-wise, see what people can make in this game?
Sure. In October, maybe our first stream ever. Well, we always had heat. Like, we had some, heater items and all dead stock apparel. So I think, like, our first stream ever was maybe around, like, $3,000 to $4,000 in sales.
That's fucking awesome.
Which is still awesome. It's still great.
could have been 800 though.
Yeah.
That's the key part. You can start from 800.
Yeah. We were running everything at $1 back then, too. Like, crazy heat.
That game.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was, different times were different back then, but I would say now one of our best shows was probably around like the 35 to 40K range.
55 Cherry Day though.
Well, you got to talk about that too. So yeah, I didn't even know that number, but
yeah. So it ranges. He's right. The average is like 35 to 40K a show.
The average show is 35 to 40K.
When we
One of the
ran
some of the biggest shows.
Yeah, some of the biggest average shows. Here's the thing too. We changed our model over time because that was when we ran 100 mystery boxes in one shot, but then we started realizing that we were kind of tiring some of them out and they couldn't stay till the end when we opened them.
It was like 8-hour streams.
So now we run 2 halves of 25, and they're probably around the 20K mark, I would say, 15 to 20K. But we did pitch to Whatnot, and that's what we do mostly on network. That's the cool thing about if you're hearing the different live auction things. We're like the release day boys. So like we sold like 400 of the Lost and Founds, thanks to God and you guys for supporting, on release day right before Christmas, and they were for $350. And then the market went up, obviously, to $450, $480. We sold over 400 for $350. So that was crazy, but that was all on network. So you buy now on Whatnot. We did the Cherry 11 release with them, sold 150 at retail. Obviously, they help us do that with a marketing expense to pay some of the value that it's actually worth. But that was like a 55K show, yeah.
Whatnot Network, if you guys are listening to this, I know Whatnot's listening. These guys are busting their ass off for you guys. You need to show them some gratitude. I know you guys have streamers on the app, but these guys are busting their ass day in and day out. You need to show support to these guys because you know what? There's other platforms out there. It's not just Whatnot anymore. You got to show these guys love, or they can go anywhere else they want. And when you guys are doing these big streams and stuff like that, it's a lot of repeat customers, and you're giving Whatnot 10%. There has to be gratitude given to you guys. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
of course. And of course, they do show love in every way that they can and put you in the position to succeed. But at the end of the day, we just want to build our own brand and family, and whatever that's best for us, we'll follow our hearts. And you never know what might come. There might be a third app next month. There might be whatever. So you got to show all the love where it's due. And so far, they've taken great care of us, but we plan to grow much larger.
So, in the next year, I know 2023 is going to be a crazy year for everybody involved. Where do you see Culture Kicks going? Do you guys want to stay online? Do you want to keep pushing on social media? What's the goal for you guys right now?
I'll take this. So I feel like 2023, obviously we just moved into our new warehouse. We want to start this VIP culture shopping experience.
And I'm telling you guys, it is really fucking nice in here.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So I think that's one of our main goals of the year is to make sure that we have this place available for people that really want to spend some crazy money on some Dior lows, right? Stuff that's really hard to find, right? And you want to have a experience where you're not getting, bum rushed by whoever's at the mall. So we definitely are really putting and investing a lot of time and effort into making sure this place is ready to go. And then from the Whatnot and streaming perspective, I think that we want to be on these streaming platforms as much as possible. Right now we're doing that 24-hour streamathon. That's something that we can't do.
Make sure you guys tune in for that.
Yeah, I got to tune into the 24-hour streamathon.
These are going home for $400.
But I think that over time we'll get more employees here in-house where we can just be running on multiple different multiple different accounts all under the culture umbrella and kind of taking it on looking at it from that perspective.
Now, as business owners now, does it feel crazy if you could go back in time to an Applebee's parking lot and say, hey, Chase, we're gonna have 14 employees. Would you have believed it?
I mean, looking at Alex too, right when we first started, and when we set out goals to get this stuff done, it was all things that I felt was achievable. It was just a matter of time. So even the goals that we have for ourselves now, it's just it'll happen. It's just when. So 14 employees, this warehouse, it's all something we thought about back then. But to this extent, we didn't think we were going to be on Whatnot or Network either. That was the one thing.
Or be saying any of this within a year. We haven't even been in LLC for a full year.
Yeah, we started the LLC last month.
So that's the thing that you guys watching too, it can happen. It can feel like it happens quick, but if you put in the work and you just show love to as many people up along the way, it comes back. And you don't know where or who it's coming from, but I swear to God it does. It's crazy the way the world works, man.
That's a big thing too, is I tell, just by talking to these guys off camera, they're very genuine. I have talked to people, off camera that are complete bullshit. These guys, what they say they mean, and it's really refreshing, especially them being so young and motivated. Like me, when I was doing this stuff, it's very hard to stay motivated all the time because, especially being in the streetwear culture and sneakers, you meet a lot of terrible fucking people.
Yep.
Especially, I'm from the Pittsburgh area. We have a lot of grease balls. I can only imagine them being in Philadelphia when they deal with.
Yeah. Not much different.
So do you see Culture Kicks, both of you guys, staying in Philadelphia, or do you guys see you going to any other cities? Or?
Yeah. So that's the one thing about that question. Everyone's favorite question is, when's the store? Are you getting a store, right? And to Chase's point, I think we stream 6 days, probably 7 days a week by the end of this year with different employees we have coming through. Just hired a full-time employee only for streaming. Why would you, rush to a store when you can have hundreds of people in one place and only one person can buy and you don't have to kick your tires around by hundreds others? I think we have a store in Philadelphia. We hold down the Philadelphia kind of sneaker company and influencers and, bring the whole community together, but only when it doesn't need to make a single dollar. When it's really just a marketing pinpoint, Capital HQ kind of, where our office is out of, like probably even keep something like this warehouse for operations. And then we try and build the exclusive private shopping like you guys see here today in Florida, targeting West Palm Beach area, Miami area, places like that. Again, something that you can just kind of fly your private clientele out to. We'll literally sell it via auction, like an experience to come out for the weekend. Really just kind of like build the community, and not say like build like levels or tiers of it, but like definitely like auction higher status things to give people a real experience. Like, why do you go to Disney World? Because you want a crazy experience with your family. So like, come like to Culture HQ, like we'll plug you with a car, a watch, and some shoes. So. And
that's, they're starting, they got the shoes, they want to get in the watches and the cars and the real high-end stuff, which is, I find intriguing. And a lot of you guys out there watching this, I know you have a passion for this. Everybody thinks the end goal is the store. And I get it. It sounds cool. It sounds luxurious. But when you're selling online, especially at the the volume they are making much more money doing this now than if they had a storefront that you have to be locked down to, where you can't move. When you have a storefront, you can't travel. You can't meet connections. You can't go to these events as much. So
for sure,
what they're doing now, exactly right. Time is money. What they're doing now, having this warehouse, is just, it's the next level. It's what you guys need to be thinking about.
Whenever you see 99% of people looking one direction, you have to think about, where are they not looking? I need to find the one thing. Every table you go to, they want to sell us their bricks, and everyone's focused on the Jordan 4 Uni Blue. And it's like, build a business around where everyone's not looking. Whether you're just tuning in because you like Neecs because he's like the funniest guy I ever met in my life, and you're like trying to build a restaurant business or whatever, It's crazy. It's crazy the opportunities you can find in the darkest shadow places.
Yeah.
Nobody's looking.
I was gonna say, like, the sneaker industry, right? Like, you can emulate this into other business models, right? Where, we're selling shoes and everything, and we're making margins on this stuff and that. But like, once you learn how to sell and how to buy anything, you can build a business around it. So just getting your fundamentals in place will make you just a better business person. Because at the end of the day, we're not resellers, we're business people, right? We're thinking of everything from a business perspective. And I think that's like very key that I want to get across to the viewers and everything, is like, stop thinking of yourselves as just like these low end, I'm a reseller. Be like, think of yourself as a business minded person who's looking to run and operate a business, a fully functioning business.
And that's the thing too, a lot of people don't understand, is for the business minded people, these guys have families, they have girlfriends, they have lives, but this is something they choose to do. When you go into business for yourself, you're not going to be successful unless it consumes you. It has to be everything a part of you guys. Like, I'm pretty sure there's days where they just don't want to come in, but they still come in and stream. They got to deal with the dickheads on Honor Network or these crazy people, but you know what? Yeah. They have the passion, they have the drive. They started this less than a year ago. So you guys have to understand, these guys are working and working and working. It just didn't happen.
Right. And less than a year ago, the Culture Kicks brand, but like I said, back in 2020 is when I first, and it took me a month to sell my first shoe.
The LLC is less than a year.
Yeah, it's less than a year. So it does take time, guys, for sure.
But what I think people appreciate most, like you said, is being genuine.
Being genuine. And that's like obviously why we wanted to do this to begin with, is like, give a real story, because this is my real life, and like, hey, look, I'm a kid who I worked a job. I didn't like the corporate world, and I said, I want to be my own business. I want to be my own businessman, and just go do it. Like, no one's gonna, because once you quit your job and you don't got your 401k or you don't got whatever, and you're like, you wake up and you're like, well, shit, how am I gonna feed myself? You go and you go do it. How are my bills getting paid? Because my parents aren't doing that shit anymore.
And that's the craziest part, is like, now when we are like definitely the most successful the brand or business has ever been, is the time that our backs are the most up against the wall. Because,
quick question, how old are you guys by chance?
25.
I'm 27.
They're just my age. We're getting older now. We're
getting older. We're on
27?
Yeah.
We're closer to 30 than to 20. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's funny too, that I notice, is the older guys, this is it for us, you know what I mean? Like, we're like getting out of the younger age for experimenting and stuff. Like, this is the time where you got to buckle down and be like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I also feel like there's so much time, man. Like, we look at guys that are big in certain other industries, like a Gary Vee.
I was just gonna say,
Like,
Gary Vee, yeah.
we have so much time on our hands that, like, it might feel like we're running to, like, our end, right? Like 30, and then you're like, oh, I'm selling sneakers at 30. But, like, bro, like, you're a business owner. Like, you're just gonna be growing. By the time you hit 30, by the time you hit 35, you'll be in a whole another, like, stratosphere of what you can accomplish and, like, what type of money you can bring in and all that type of stuff. So it's just the beginning, honestly.
You learn how to do more and work less hard.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing, and there's no rule book to success. Like, it's like I said, there's like tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars that we would have had more if we just had one simple idea like 2 months earlier. Like, if you guys are tuning into our Whatnot, you know the Big Baller giveaway, right?
Yep.
You know if you bid the $300 average, which you're guaranteed on average in your box, one of you gets a Travis Scott for free. Didn't have that idea at all in December, and we were live every single day and did pretty good sales numbers.
Right.
So if we just have that one idea, again, like, your lives can change, but you find that as you grow every single time.
Now, would you say your business model is always changing, or are you trying to keep the same bread and butter? Like, what do you think works best for you guys?
Adapting, I feel
It's
like.
always changing.
Always changing.
It's the same sort of, theme of selling, bringing in new customers, like keeping them, well taken care of. But the trends, especially in this live auction industry where there's a new horse in the race every day coming to take you down. We see on the daily people, like, I'll get links sent to me like they're doing exactly what you're doing. And it's like, that's cool because the people who run Whatnot are even like, you gave the
That's a
recipe for
compliment.
success.
That's making you feel good.
It makes you feel good. But again, people are coming to take you down, so we got to think now that everyone does mystery boxes, what's the next mystery box? Because we started doing them like crazy consistently before they were an everyday thing.
Right. And even the apparel and the items inside the mystery boxes, like, we're trying to just freshen up and make sure that, because, like, if you're an OG subscriber or OG fan of ours and you've been buying shoes from us and you're probably like, all right, I already have everything they got. Like, so now we're trying to switch up everything that we're getting in-house, like, where we're trying to get wholesale on certain items so that we can be able to spread them out through these mystery boxes and get people new stuff every time they come join through on a stream.
Now, do you feel like the new competition, does it piss you guys off, or does it make you hungry to make better videos?
Hungrier, man.
Hungry, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we're the
fuel.
type of, it's like our personalities. That's why when we locked in, I was like, this kid's pretty much like me, like, when it comes to his mentality. Probably even harder. Like, I've honestly never met someone like Alex with the amount of just, like, work ethic and drive and always constantly thinking of, like, how to grow bigger. Because he was the one who kind of got me out of my shell. Because, like, the people you hang around, like, it's so cheesy and cliche, but, like, literally your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
And they say it all the time, but, like, I was in the mindset of, I got to drive around, go loot pairs of shoes. I got to go, sell some resellers and grow my brand on Instagram. And Alex is like, bro, like, we got to start shipping these, because, like, how long does it take you to go do a meetup? And I was like, about like an hour. And he's like, all right, well, how much money do you make? Like, I'm like, I don't know, 50 to 100 maybe, depending on the profit. It's like, okay, well, we can do that all day in here and ship out shoes to worldwide, and you don't have to run around and potentially get, like, in a car accident or someone try to jank you or whatever. So it's just like, obviously the people you're around will be able to just enhance you in life.
And like-minded people, it's so hard to find people who share their goal. Like, everybody I've met here today, they all share the same vision. They want culture kicks to explode. Just like with my brand, Neecs, I got Eric and Kyle who want me to excel, and I want them to excel. So the big thing is making sure you have a good circle around you, because there's a lot of people who are cheering you on. They say they're cheering you on, but they're not.
Right.
There's people who want you guys to fail. And it's the sad truth of reality, but that should make you want to go that much harder.
Of course.
Like, when I watch their Instagrams and stuff, these guys are really good on social media. And, like, I try to take tips from them. And me, I'm not a social media guy. I like seeing these guys on camera because they're personable. They have an energy to them. A lot of you guys are like fucking snails. There's nothing there. There's no substance. So it's cool to see people who are, like, motivated. And I'm telling you, guys need to keep pushing out the YouTube videos.
Yeah, bro.
sure,
We're
we
going to
will.
try. It's consistency. And that's the thing, too, about everything we just talked about. Like, you absolutely kill Whatnot. And, like you said, like, you might not be as, consistent as social media, but it's so hard to do everything all at once.
Oh, I agree.
It's impossible, like, to try and do it. So that's why we invest in the growth. Like, right now, Chase and I know we need to hit a certain sales number to keep this company growing, and the light's on us right now as we speak, because otherwise we can't have a YouTube that posts. We can't have Whatnot running every day. We can't have Instagram Reels and Shorts that we repost. And it's like, it's really cool once you start seeing the growth, and that's when it gets addicting. It's almost like going to the gym and seeing yourself get a little bigger. You know, like that's kind of like what you eat up, and that's what drives the addiction. And in Chase too, like I would say, like people like Neecs, like there are some rare people that don't need a partner or like have partners here and there. Like it's very important sometimes if you're in between a partner or not, like to find someone who perfectly kind of complements the other side of you. And like we brought on other people, you all know Franco at this point, like mastermind numbers and super high EQ as well, like that you want to bring into the team and just they can trust them with your life, literally. But I've told Chase things sometimes where he's been in his ways, like he'll be like sure that something works for 2 years and he just listens to me, and then that respect will be paid back to him when he's like, shut up, like or something. Like
and that's the big thing they have to understand is if you're working together with somebody and you're not butting heads, it's not doing good. You guys have to butt heads. You have to have different opinions, different things, because you know what? If you're always agreeing, you're never going to really reach your maximum potential. That's why I love my guys, because, you know, I get fucked off all the time.
Of course.
They'll cool me down. They'll say, Neecs, this isn't right. When you have a company, too, especially the way you guys are growing, you're going to have times where you just want to fucking rip each other's heads off. It's a good thing. It makes you want to fucking do better and do more.
For sure.
Of course. And then the high rises, man, are incredible after it.
Because honestly, it's like, you know, business is the ultimate sport.
It is.
And
shout out Mark Cuban.
Yeah, shout out to Marky Cuban for that one. And I was like a college athlete, you know, Michigan lacrosse player. Alex played in high school, passionate soccer player, like loves
He was captain of Michigan lacrosse. I was a high school soccer player.
Still, it's like
yeah.
I've like grown up like that, where it's like everything's competition, right? But it's like good, fair competition where like Alex pushes me to my best and I push him to his best, and honestly it goes and kind of trickles down to our employees. Like even our director and everything, like he pushed out our YouTube video in a day. He said, screw the Super Bowl. I'm not watching the Super Bowl. Of course, we're Eagles fans. He says, I'm going to knock out this sneaker con.
Fuck that ref, buddy.
Yeah.
Unreal.
But yeah, so like, it's
Never
just,
mind being the Super Bowl was the day that he cranked it out.
He cranked it out in the Super Bowl, and just like, I can see his passion and work ethic just going to another level. And like, that's what you need. You need everybody firing on all cylinders. Otherwise, you're not getting to your potential.
And you need to trust. It's super hard to build something from the beginning and let your hands off.
Yeah.
Super hard.
You have a tough time with that.
That's a struggle for me. Like probably if you ask me what my biggest struggle is, that's it. And like it is something because like you have to know that sure you can do it better, but like the business needs to grow. You know,
sure.
And Jordan, who runs like all of our director of media, everything, like in the moment, like he'll literally tell me things that are crucial for bettering a video, because he's just like, you gotta let this happen and this or whatever, and it's like, it's right. And that's why, again, it goes back to the trust of your own team. You have to trust each other that they know what they're talking about. And
for sure.
Now the great thing is everybody knows you have a great team here. You're motivated. How does your family feel about you running this business? Do they accept it at first, or they're like,
oh my God,
what the fuck is
when
going on?
I first showed the first video of Chase to my family, literally buying at Just a Nice Secret Convention, my mom's like, seems like a lot of hustling and like, I don't know, like a lot of shady stuff going on here. Like, you sure you want to do this? Like all these dollar bills going around?
It's funny, man. It's funny you bring that up, because like my parents have been so supportive of us as of the brand. But quitting my job, I was making 6 figures, like, good job, right? And I told them I was going to be quitting. They're like, hold up, what the hell? Like, no, you will not be quitting your job. Like I was explaining to them, like, if I make this amount of money each month, like I'm making more money. They're like, no, that won't cut it. Like, what about this risk and what about that risk? And at the end of the day, you got to just believe it in yourself. You got to believe that you can reach those mountaintops and just say, you know, screw it. I'm doing it. I'm going all in. And I remember talking to my grandma, and I told her first, I was like, I'm going to make this company happen. And I just finished reading the Nike book.
Let's go.
Whatever it was called. I forget the name of it.
Shoe Dog.
Shoe Dog. And I told my grandma, I was like, I'm going to make this happen. We're going to do it. And she was the one who was like, oh, baby, I have faith in you. I'm going to get it going. And now, obviously, my parents they see the vision. They are totally bought in. And it's the best decision I ever made in my life.
Ever.
That's the big thing that what I noticed too is I was lucky as my parents, you know, Italian parents, they can be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I told them, like, ever since I was in like high school, since I was 15, used to skip school. I fucking hated school. It was so boring.
Yeah.
Go to NYC to buy shoes all the time. Just skip school, go buy shoes. The fucking nuns would be calling my mom and dad. I'd get cursed out. Like, what are you fucking doing? It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And then I went to college, for my first year in Cincinnati. Fucking flunked out. I think I had like a .2 GPA.
Yeah.
Was partying, getting greasy.
Somebody had to.
They
Stopped
had
having
to.
some beers.
Absolutely. Getting with a few chicks, having fun.
Yeah.
And I called my mom and dad one day. I said, I can't fucking do this. This is boring. I hate this shit.
For sure.
I said, I love shoes.
Yeah.
They said, you know what? You can do shoes on the side. Come work in the restaurant. I said, okay. So I worked at the restaurant. If anybody's ever worked in the restaurant, it's fucking hard.
Crazy business.
Horrible work.
That is one business I never want to get into.
It's horrible.
Hand up, I've been in it.
It's awful. You're just
terrible.
nonstop, and you get really miserable.
Yeah.
And I looked at my mom and dad and my grandma, because my grandma was my best friend in the whole world. I'm like, I got to build something that I love. I love shoes. The only thing I've ever gave a fuck about.
Yeah.
And 3 years later, trying to get successful, but I'm doing something I love now. And it makes
That's
me
amazing,
happy.
man.
It's amazing.
You're inspirational too, Neecs. Like,
You really are, dude.
seriously though, like we started off like very small, right? Like
Yeah.
a couple thousand followers. When Alex joined the team, we were like maybe 4 to 5K on Instagram, and I probably started watching some of your videos like, I don't know, maybe a couple months after you joined, and I was like, wow, this guy out of Pittsburgh, Big Bear, like killing these videos. So it's crazy to be on this podcast now on the Neecs channel and everything.
Listen, the
Appreciate
pleasure
you,
is
bro.
all mine. I love meeting hungry people that care about the culture and are doing good for it, because there's a lot of guys out there. It's a numbers game.
Yeah.
But you guys care about your audience. You care about your customers. Giving away T-shirts, giving away PS5s. That's not normal.
Yeah.
A lot
50 PS5s in December.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Christmases.
And I think the problem is people expect that from now on. It's hard to have that same energy. People think this shit's given to you for free, and it's not.
Right.
We have to work for it. Again, it's part of the marketing.
Yeah.
That's the thing, back to when you really asked them, like, quitting your job, what do your parents think about it? Like, I always feel like the first question for every entrepreneur is, like, the 3 or 4 letters, I guess, 401k. Like, what's going on with your retirement fund? And I think, like, what it really breaks down to is, like, all of our parents sitting here, they've found success in their own way, but times were so different. And the time that they, saved that retirement fund, had the 40, 50, 80, 120K salary, and now they're retired and have, mansions. Like, they didn't have a Facebook to open or make like a viral video, whether it's someone dancing or not. Like, the times are so different, and like, you almost have to appreciate them understanding that they don't understand, but they want you to follow your dream. And even though they don't understand it, they're going to take that like leap of faith with you almost. And now when they see it pays off, it's like the most, fulfilling thing ever.
And I'm not very good with social media, but social media has changed so many people's lives in a sense. It's like, think about where your business has come with social media, where our business has come with social media. It's always changing. And it's just like, a lot of older people just don't understand how, how can you make fucking money off Instagram or Facebook? No. They don't understand that. Mm-hmm. But there's just so much out there that people don't utilize, that people need to utilize. Anybody that, wants to buy and sell shoes, get a GoPro, get your iPhone. Yeah. Just film your deals. It doesn't matter what you're doing. People love seeing content. I know it can be weird and fucking annoying, especially
when you're small.
When you're small and you're at an event, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Why does this guy have a camera guy with him? Like, what the fuck's wrong with him?
Yeah.
But it feels so rewarding when, especially if somebody comes up to you guys, somebody comes up to me, asks for a picture. It is the most awesome experience because
we love it.
I love it, dude.
Yeah.
Some of you guys, 99% of you guys are fucking awesome. With the 1% weirdos, I still love you guys too. Yeah. But
shout out to all the weirdos out there.
It's just crazy because I remember, especially going to these smaller events, filming, and just being like, people are like, what's going on here? Yeah. And now it seems like everybody's doing it. So
I love to tell people, like, even if you're not a talkable person, you are talking through the deals. And if you don't film it, you're only doing it once forever. If you film it, you're doing it, 1,000 times if it gets 1,000 views. You just did it 1,000 times. So put a GoPro on your chest, and like, worst thing that can happen is it gets no views. You're not gonna lose money.
Right. That's what I mean. You're still putting a lot of these people who are insecure.
Sure.
And you have nothing to be insecure about. There's weirdos everywhere. You might get that niche audience that just attaches to you.
Yeah.
And it's always ever changing. I feel like a lot of kids now are trying to get into it, but they're afraid to post it. You know what I mean? Everybody's so worried about the views, and I know I'm a victim of it. People love seeing high views in their videos, numbers, shorts. You can't worry about that stuff. You know what I mean? It all comes.
It takes time for sure, and I feel like it's something where you definitely can't get caught up into it, and like even if you are getting like a low amount of views, like just keep being consistent, keep going, because you eventually will build up some sort of following, whatever you're doing, whether it be sneakers, selling freaking candy, anything. Honestly, bro, I will go on YouTube just to look at business. Like I've seen vending machines, people selling how to sell vending machine, flipping vending machine business. Like I'm interested in just how do people operate? Like how are they doing what
Number
they're doing?
2 search engine.
And if I'm interested, that means tens of millions of other people are interested.
Absolutely.
So you just got to find your niche. You got to be yourself, honestly, because you never want to fake anything, right? You want to just be yourself on camera, do what you want to do. Be entertaining, though. Also realize that, like, you got people to entertain, you know? So you got to throw in some jokes every now and then. Of course. But if you can just do that, like, honestly, sky's the limit for you. Like, you'll be able to do whatever.
I think a great thing, too, is, you know, people are always worried about negative comments.
Yeah.
I bet you guys experience it all the time and whatnot.
Every day.
There's always going to be ignorant assholes out there. Yeah. People that have nothing better to do. You can't worry about negative comments, you know. If they go on the stream and one asshole's bitching, he's hiding behind a keyboard, you know. These guys are putting themselves out there. Like, I know me, when I look at my videos, I have the same, there's like 3 trolls comment the same shit all the time. It makes me mad, but you can't worry about the negative energy, because you know what? The other 100 people love it.
Literally,
Yep.
You're inspiring so many others.
And that's how everyone always says too. And it, like, I remember I was telling you this earlier, like, it is hard in the beginning to not take it out on, like, your girlfriend or your loved ones when you see, like, the trolls come through, because it's something, like, you worked so hard for, and then they're just, like, totally shitting on you. And you're like, whether they're actually making, like, a good, believable case or not, because it's always untrue, you know, then you have to try and think about, like, what's the best thing to do, even though all you want to do, obviously, is, like, smack them in the face. Like, you have to take it and just, you know, go forward, kill them with kindness, show them love, of course, but all the loved ones always say that's how you know you're making it. I mean,
that's my problem is when I was on Whatnot, if I had a negative troll, I couldn't ignore it.
Yeah, you can't.
I was like tough, saying, man. You're a motherfucker, fuck you, pussy, come find me. Like, they would be the same guys.
Same
I'm like,
people.
You have nothing else going on in your life where you have to be in this guy's stream bitching and moaning. And it's just, I feel like it excites me, though, because I kind of like when somebody's on my back, because it makes me want to perform better.
Of course.
We've had people that we forgot to send, like, their free new T-shirt to, and they're like, you motherfucker.
And those are the people who get the free items are the people that bitch the most.
But here's the craziest part. It's your brand T-shirt. It's not even, like, a Kith T-shirt. Like, you're literally shitting on my life, and you want my brand T-shirt. Like, that doesn't exactly add up. Like, you're going to go wear it proudly now that I hate you? Like, okay, it's all cool, but... Again, it's the 92%. Like, you try and shoot for 100% everyone, but like, you can't get caught up on that 5 to 8% that are just out to get you. If you're, like, on the entrepreneurial side, you know, you just have to power through, man. And that's why it's like a great strong circle helps too. Great strong partners like you, like you know.
I was gonna say too, like, the thing you realize going to these events, right? Of course, like, when you go, you get tons of people saying what's good to you, taking pictures, like that. Those are the people that might not be saying, like, the great things on the comments or whatever, but then in person they're your buddy, you know. So it's like you can't even think about the internet as, like, honestly real, because, like, in real life I've never had someone come up to me and be like, hey, screw you for this, screw you for that. It's always love.
And I've honestly thought we might get a couple of shows. Like, I thought someone would be like, you're a dick or something, but they all come up and, what can I buy from you? No, I just like a picture. I'm like, oh, let's go. It's amazing.
I think the big thing is, you know, a lot of people don't understand. You know, I've seen these guys online. When you build a connection with these people, it goes lifelong, you know.
Literally.
I just know after I leave here, I'm going to text these guys. I'm going to be interested in how their business is doing. You know, I want them to succeed. When you go to these events, start meeting people, start shaking people's hands, saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, this is my business, this is what I'm about. People don't do face-to-face interactions anymore. It seems like everything's so fake. Like, I've been to tables where I try to buy shoes and the kid won't look at me. It just drives me crazy. There's no interaction anymore between people, but meeting guys like you, it's refreshing.
It is. No, it truly is. And I feel like, the longer you're in this business, you'll just become more comfortable with going up to people, right?
Yeah.
Like, even at SneakerCon, there was some, like, influencer type people, and I'm just like, hey, I said their name, I was like, I'm Chase Young, I work for Culture, or I'm owner of Culture Kicks. Like, just put yourself out there, guys. The literal worst thing that could happen is they just look at you and walk away.
Yeah.
And the thing is with influencers, too, they're just regular people.
They're normal people.
Like a lot of these guys that, have big channels and stuff, they are the same as you and I. You don't have to worry about going up to them. You're the ones who are building their careers, building their audience.
Right.
These guys coming in here, if you're watching their Whatnot streams, they're appreciative, they're thankful. A lot of these guys just want you to come view them. They don't have to buy anything from them. Just come say, hey, what's up? That's all they need.
That's all we ask for a follow, right?
All we ask for a follow. Go hit the subscribe or whatever
hit the subscribe button, follow us on Instagram.
It's like you don't even have to, if you don't want to tip, which people do, by the way, they were buying mad Valentine's Day chocolates for our girl employees. Which the tip jar is always open, guys.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to smack the tip jar, we just say, toss us a subscribe. It's the hardest thing to grow. Like, if you want to follow us on Instagram, it is what it is. But to your point, it's like they aren't just influencers. Like, everyone started from zero. Everyone started from day one of birth. Like, literally, everyone's a human. Like, literally the nicest guy I know, like Brandon Graham on the Eagles. Like, we sell through him and Darius Slay, and you think you show up and, like, they're not going to say anything. Like, one day I met Marcus Epps and it was hailing, and he still, like, through the hail had a conversation with me. I'm like, damn, like, this is pretty crazy. Like, like.
And that conversation probably changed your opinion on him forever. It just makes you want to keep selling to him.
Just wanted to ask about the business, just because he asked, like, one question, and it's like, you think they're all, you have these preconceived ideas in your head, but.
Because what you see on Instagram or social media.
Yeah, or honestly movies. Like
movies, anything.
Netflix movies or something, But it is really cool, and it's how you unparalleledly grow. Like, it's definitely not a word, but whatever. Like, how you just grow faster than you should because people want to help you. Like you being here today,
sure.
Like, just be a good person. And crazy, man.
Now, Culture Kicks being at where it's at now, who would be your dream customer, your dream collab you could do with? If you could meet with somebody or film with somebody, who would it be?
You got
anybody you want.
You got one?
You go first. I'm not sure. I wouldn't even say an Eagle, like, honestly, because I feel like I like they are like family almost at this point, and I'm gonna try and do like sneaker shows with them, but I feel like something like a Jay-Z would be insane to have here.
That would be honestly like, I would have to take a breath back and be like,
yeah,
damn, Jay-Z's in the building, but I can't really pinpoint anyone right now. I think that, like, from our brand perspective is like, we want to be tight knit with everyone.
Yes.
It's like, we don't honestly, whether you're an influencer, whether you're just a normal person, or let's say like you're just a big sneakerhead, like, we try to treat everyone with the same respect, try to treat everyone with kindness, like Alex loves to say, like, kill them with kindness. So honestly, anyone who wants to show love to us, we're willing to show love back. And like, you showed mad love to us, and I've obviously, of course, have watched your podcast, YouTube and everything. So
hilarious and amazing. Like, you don't, just because you're hilarious doesn't mean you don't have to spread love. And like, every time I sign off and whatnot, I'm like, give someone a compliment who you otherwise wouldn't have, and like, please do it, because my famous line too is like the guacamole line, when I'm like, if they forgot your guacamole at Chipotle, it's not the next guy's fault who you're shitting on, And it really is true. And like I said, I don't know if I said this on the podcast or offline before, like, one of our biggest new customers on Whatnot, he owns a bagel deli. If you literally type in Bagel Deli Denver, it's the first one that pops up. He's like third generation bagel deli. And he just will send us, he's overnighting us his pastrami, corned beef, and like deli meats for our 24-hour streamathon. And he will come in and literally put $1,000 down in tips and buy like 4 or 5 boxes of shoes and give them away to the chat. So you guys would just win like literally a shot at like $1,200 Travis Scott's, because somebody comes through and every day when he like texts me, he's like, the only reason I do it is because like I went through hard times in my life and I had someone there to pick me up and like show love and spread positivity, and like I want to be that guy for you guys, because he's like, you deserve it, like you deserve it more than anything. It's like, Chase and I say it all the time. We have buddies who are like our best friends since day one, and they haven't bought a single shoe or even like
a t-shirt.
A t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like literally our Culture Kicks vintage t-shirts for $45. But this guy tonight will spend over $500 and keep none of it tonight on our live stream. And it's like...
And he does it because he feels like he's part of the community. He feels at home here. He doesn't feel like he's in a bad environment. He loves the energy.
And I guess the reason I bring that up too is because he's someone that I honestly value the same, if not way more, than a Jay-Z or anyone who comes in.
That's what I was trying to
He'll be in here. He'll be in here private shopping for sure, like sitting right here, like... And that is so special to us, because like that community and that person would never have been built without the brand. So
Now, that was a great, when you were talking about your friends not supporting you. Does it still bother you to this day that they don't support you, or is it just something that just goes over your head?
I would say it honestly in the beginning was like kind of bothersome, you know, like because here you are trying to start something, right, and you expect like, you know, friends like that you've known forever to be like right there by your side, and then when you don't see the support, you're like, well, damn, who's gonna support me, right? And then it's always just the random person that you've never met. You maybe met, you know, you sold them a pair of shoes or you did whatever for them, and they will freaking go to war for you.
war.
It's crazy. It's just how the world works, I guess. Like, because I guess sometimes your friends don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you overly.
They'll tell you they want you to succeed, but
You
they'll
know?
be buying the $100 Supreme tee, but, you know, if you have a $40 tee, they don't want to support.
Right. So.
Or it's the side of they have a corporate job. Like I'm a little different because like I'm like my like best friends in the world are all like I grew up with them, so it is like kind of like family brothers, and like literally I have a group chat where they go for sneakers drops for me, like,
Yeah.
and they don't even keep any of it. They just send it and it goes to their house. So like that's like I'm like very blessed for sure, but like the college or like some of the people we met in between, like I still have like pretty close college friends, but like most people who live in big cities, they have corporate jobs and they don't want to see like sometimes like their friend who's like posting all of his entrepreneurial lifestyle around like killing it or whatever, and like
I
you'll
don't
get
know
the
why
text.
people do that. Like, you know, it's almost like a jealousy thing. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you be glad that your buddies have been being successful? Like,
Yeah, and that's of
what I'm
course
saying.
that's of course like the last like thing I'm trying to get across. But like there are people in your life who you know without saying it together that they're maybe thinking that, and then you'll get texts like, "Yo, bro, like, how much for those dunks?" I'm like, we both know it's on the website. Like, what do you want me to do here? Like,
You want the hookup? You want the hookup price?
Are you gonna like text like Heinz Ketchum and be like, "Can I get it for 50 cents, bro?" and not the $6 tag at Giant? Like, no. So like, you know, if you want to support, like, and that's the cool part where we're at now. Like, with all love in my heart, like, we really don't need like to
Right.
waste the time to like maybe give someone a better like $30 deal to like go get a shoe that's more inconvenient than selling mystery boxes and having them join the family.
Now, as you guys have grown, have you noticed a lot more people trying to get free stuff off of you guys, or?
Absolutely.
I have cancer. My son's like dying. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm, you know, a war veteran. I have like one leg. Can you send me a PS5? Like, yeah. All
Yeah,
that stuff.
it's stuff like that, and it's like, you know, it's you got to kind of take some of it obviously with a grain of salt. Like, there's just going to be people out there. It's the internet. There's literally 3 billion users on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
Anybody
like,
can put any picture they want as a
Yeah.
profile picture.
So it is kind of difficult to like try to read the room and really feel like, all right, is this person like genuine or not? But we do try our best like to give back. Like, we've done things like in the past where, like this past summer, we gave away like 100 pairs of like school shoes to a school in Philadelphia. Just to like show love to the community type things, and I know that's super important. It's super important to me because of just like my background. Like, my dad wasn't born in America; he was born in Jamaica. Like, I've seen the like lowest of the lows of like where life could have been for me.
Yeah.
You know, like if he didn't make the strides, my grandmother didn't make the strides to like be more successful. I see where it could have been. So I'm always like, I understand my roots, and I understand that like there's always someone out there doing worse than me. So like, if you have the ability to give back, you honestly should, and it feels right to give back. Like, it just
course.
feels good.
It feels
to do.
amazing. It's like why you do it. Why you?
Yeah,
Why
like
you
we
wanna
don't
succeed.
intend on building this like billion. Like, we want to say this right now on camera. We want to be $1 billion type of company.
We will.
That's the type of company we want to be. And I'm not saying that we want to be $1 billion just to be like rich or whatever. To be able to give back to people who genuinely need the money and need it to like just survive and have a better life. That's like kind of what we're all about, and it's like and I honestly think that's why we've been able to grow so fast, and like because we have that vision of event, like it'll all be given back.
And then you have people leapfrogging you, like Bagel Deli Denver,
Yeah.
coming through, and they see
Giving
and they
back
share
like
that
crazy.
they share that passion with you. Like, literally in this video, I think it was just on, we were giving like a homeless pair of Jordans to a homeless guy. So it's like, it's everything. Like, you don't just go and try and make all this money to like buy a yacht and then
Yeah.
call it done, like quits. Like, it would be amazing to like actually change people's lives, and like I cry doing it too. Like,
Yeah.
it's everything. So.
I just find it so humbling too, especially like, you know, when you see somebody out and about wearing your merch, or, you know, you see
Yeah.
somebody supporting you and they're like, "Where'd you get that cool T-shirt?" Then it spreads it back, and the positivity, and there is good people in this game. There is good people who
Really
care
good.
about you. Like, You'll see the people out there that are all in it for themselves. Some of the bigger guys, they're like sharks. They want it all. Then you'll see the guys who are really trying to do better for this community. It's just, I see where you guys are going, and I'm telling you, like, the momentum's crazy. And I'm telling you, there's going to be times where it's going to be fucking hard, and you just want to be like, what am I doing? Why isn't this working? Don't ever give up.
Thank you, bro. I mean, and you're an inspiration too. Like,
because there's been times where, like, you'll get burned on a deal, or you'll do something and you get criticized for it. You'll make a video and it'll have a bunch of negative backlash.
Of course.
And you're like, why am I doing this? Why
are you putting yourself through this?
Why am I dealing with all this hate?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you guys have such a positive vibe to you guys. Don't ever give up. I'm telling you, keep pushing on Whatnot. Keep doing what you guys do. You could easily be $1 billion company.
Yeah.
That shouldn't even be the limit. There should always be more.
10 bill. But literally got sold 2 events ago. This was like one of the moments where it's
Shout out to God Soul. Best
Shout out God
Joey
Soul.
and Jonathan. Let's go.
Joey and Jonathan, we're coming for the moon. That thing is mooning, and I'm so excited for us to be part of it.
Yeah.
But like other people and influencers, speaking of which, like everybody knows the authenticator of eBay, the famous girl that authenticates really quick and goes viral and all that stuff. Like 2 moments ago, this is why I was like, wow, like Chase, we're doing something good, bro, because this was like the first person that like I looked up to or thought was like famous, and I gave her a glance, and right when I looked at her, she was doing the same thing to me, and then I like was just like, all right, I'm not sure, like I'm like, she's talking to somebody. She left her conversation, came up to me and went like this. She's like, I love you. She's just, I love you. She's like, you spread so much love on Whatnot. I can't stop watching you guys. Like, thank you so much. Gave her one of those triple-headed MVP t-shirts of ours. Yeah. She's walking by us, the next event, SneakerCon Philly, and goes, let's fucking go! And she's wearing it in Philly, and I was like, wow, dude. And like, I literally picked her up and hugged her. I'm like, I love you. Cause like, again, she's just someone who's like wearing like an angel aroma around her. Like you cannot be negative meeting Shimmy. Like it's unbelievable. So shout out her, shout out spreading love. But like, that's the kind of stuff, man, where you grow and just like, wow, like we are actually making an impact. Because like, I used to watch and be like, damn, she is authenticating the shit out of those. Like so quick. Like I was like, oh my God. Like
how's she doing it type
killing it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Having you here, crazy.
No, the being crazy is seeing you guys starting so young, less than a year ago to where you're at now is fucking awesome. It makes me motivated because I know there's times where I'll be, doing spreadsheets. I'm like, this is so fucking boring.
Yeah.
I should be doing something else.
Of course.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep busting it, keep doing it, driving to these events, driving 10, 12 hours to an event.
4-hour drive to get here.
Just to get here.
Just for today, for you guys.
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
Smash that like button.
I want to make sure all their links are down below. And I'm telling you guys, they have fantastic inventory on their website. Please check them out. Really great guys. But guys, as we're near the end of the podcast, I know 2023 is going to be a big year for you guys. What events do you guys see yourself going to this year?
I think we're going to try and hit every SneakerCon and every Got Soul.
For sure.
Across the country. I know there's some out of the country too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a 2024 thing.
Yeah.
I'd love it for now, but we got to keep the business model of Whatnot 6 days a week. I know you're mixing in some others down in Florida.
We'll be going to a lot of, I was talking to Neecs about this too, like Sneaker Travelers, Sneaker Exit.
And you event promoters, hit these guys up, get them down there. They're going to put on a show for you guys.
And we're going to bring people, and we're going to buy heavy as well. So we're going to just have people coming in who want to sell. So that just brings people into the door. So
our last event, I mean, it was filled with probably, I would say, 100 and change people just there to find us, but like people recognize the name Culture Kicks and like wanted to sell to Chase, and there was 100 people the whole time. I was like, wow, like
12 to 6.
Crazy.
Had a smile on my face, didn't eat a single piece of food, and didn't go to the bathroom once. Everyone was impressed. They were like,
talent.
Bro, that's impressive. I was just like locked in. That's like honestly like the funnest part about like sneakers and everything. Me, like I don't think we even got into this, but like background of like the love of sneakers and everything. My dad's big sneakerhead his whole life, like born and raised. Oh, I said he came from Jamaica. Came to the Bronx, New York around like the age of 5 or 6. Was into the hip hop, like when hip hop was booming, the 70s, 80s, like that's when he was growing up. So he always had all the latest shoes. And when I was younger, I remember he got me a pair of the Reebok Question Mids. That was like my first pair. I loved AI. Philadelphia kid.
AI is my favorite basketball
player of all time. Honestly, one of my favorite just like inspirational type people of all time.
Yeah.
And so like my pops was like always, you know, bringing in just shoes every day, like because he was coming in like, and every time he was getting a pair, like he was tossing me a pair too. So like whether it was Air Max 90s, Reeboks, Jordans. I remember my first pair of Jordan 3s were the Jordan 3 Neecs colorway.
So the question mids was got you in the shoe.
Question mids is what like made me be like, wow, this is freaking
This is
amazing.
cool.
This is like this is art right here.
Now you're building a brand and empire.
Yeah. So I like honestly like took a break from shoes because I was so focused on sports.
Yeah.
So focused on getting a scholarship, playing college lacrosse and everything. And then after college, I like got back into shoes. I had some money in my pocket for my jobs. I was like, oh, I can start buying some more shoes again. And then, you know,
Travi, you got some Travi Dunk lows. You were splurging.
But here we are. Now I got, you know, lots of shoes.
And again, like something that I like really appreciate Neecs saying too is like it isn't just overnight, but also it doesn't have to take 10 years in today's day of age of business. Like if you put in the time and you really crank content, like you can have your content work for you. Like Chase and I went to the first Got Soul in New York together, and we had a table, guys, like literally as wide as this table with like 50 pairs, and like everyone just walked by us. Like we, you know, I mean, we were just another vendor for sure, but like everyone's
humiliating. I know exactly what
everyone's just another vendor at some point. Like even just buying the first table is huge, and if you put in the work and you show people love along the way, like it's all gonna come back, and it's the most fulfilling thing. I don't think there's ever it's never too late. Like that's the biggest thing too. Like it's seriously never too late. Whatever you can do, like if it makes you happy, it's worth it. Even to try and fail, because at least you know you tried, and like at least you like shot for the stars, and now you can go like, you know, do whatever works for you after. You don't
How
have to think
crazy
about
is it for you now where people used to walk by the table, now you're spending $80, $100K at an event. How crazy is that, you know, flip?
It's crazy, man. It's like I don't even know how to give you words. It's just.
I was about to say the same thing, like, because it kind of happens, like, it happens fast, but it also doesn't happen fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I started off my first video at Just Nice Sneaker Convention. I'll keep it up there forever. Spent like $4K, like I was telling you. And I thought I was balling.
What Just Nice event was that?
Just Nice.
Edison, New Jersey.
And that's where Alex is in the video.
I cashed him out, one pair of New York Dunks. Whop and cash out.
Whop and cash out. But I'm like, here I am,
Atlantic
big
City
ball.
event was terrible. I was,
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Not too good.
Not a good Atlantic City event.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much banned from Just Nice. I don't think you liked our video.
Well, I mean, he's
got
to
guy,
up the video or up the conventions. They got to get better. Like, you know, everybody wants to see growth, right? No one wants to see something go down, like
or stay the same.
So
it's a great. I will say one thing about Just Nice. It's a great, like, if you're starting off and you're trying to sell, like he's definitely got your best interests. Like, if you want to get in the door and see what it's like. You know?
I think it's crazy that when you go to like God's Souls, like it's like spoiling us because that's what events should be.
Yeah.
And you know, when you go there, I mean, their last event, you couldn't move.
Insane.
Couldn't move.
They need a bigger place now.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Right? They now are like, all right, God's Soul now needs to get bigger because you have way too many people in this building.
Killing it. And again, it just goes back to the main point. Like, they're such good guys. They work so hard. You want, like, I literally reposted it the second I saw them on, like, CABC or something. Like you love good things happening to good people, and like they put in the work. Like people say to them, like, "Oh, it's crazy! You just started this 2 years ago." They started it 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
And it's just wild too because you go to like a sneaker con. Sneaker cons are great, but it's very corporate. When you're in a God's Soul, it's like everybody there is doing the same thing.
It's different.
It's a different vibe. And Jonathan, you guys know what you do the best, and I'm so proud of them because they are exploding.
Yep.
They're getting more people at their events now than SneakerCon.
It's
and
crazy.
SneakerCon's the godfather.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just these two young kids.
It's not even a sneaker thing at this point. It's going to be entertainment. It's going to be, why do you go to a football game when you can go for $50 to God's Soul? What's more entertaining? What, baseball game or God's Soul? You know, like what the average person is choosing every day. They're going to get into the entertainment business. Like, we want to be part of all the growth with them. I told Joey, because I met Joey before I met Jonathan, I said, we're going to be really big one day, and I want to grow with you.
Yeah.
And he actually was like, I got you, man. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I do think he believes me. But, like, of course, how many people are going to say that with their little dinky table in the beginning?
I think what I appreciate so much about them, too, is, like, I met Jonathan probably 3 God Souls ago, and I had nothing. I was very small following, nothing. He didn't have to talk to me at all. He stood and talked to us for probably 25, 30 minutes, just asking how the event was. He's a real great guy. And now it's just like, I want them to fucking pass, think, or cook.
Of course.
Absolutely. And I feel like we're the same type of way where it's like, no matter how big or small, at least give that person some time to just like hear them out or just like make their day. Because like you really don't know the type of impact. Like you didn't know that type of impact. I'm sure Joey or Jonathan didn't know that impact that they had on you back then, right?
Just like now when somebody comes up to you guys, you think, wow, somebody's coming to get a picture with us. Like you don't expect it.
You don't know what they're going through. That's the thing I like always tell myself. Like you never know what someone's going through in life. It's always different. And like they might have just come there to meet you and like they'll get really shy on the spot, but it's like that's why you just greet everyone with a smile. And
For sure.
It's amazing, man. It's like I never thought you look down at sneakers with this little Nike swoosh shit, and like all of a sudden you could like change people's lives in the long term.
The relationships you've built, the people
Oh my
you've
God.
changed.
Just wearing these things, and like you go to a bar and it's like, what's good, bro? Like, where are you from? Like, it literally just starts the conversation
Culture.
and starts the culture.
Yep.
Guys, I had such a fantastic podcast. Is there anything else you'd like to get off your chest before we sign off?
Streamathon.
Streamathon. Maybe by the time you guys are seeing this,
Or it's already passed, which means you slept and that's missed out. So you're
but we
gonna
will
have
have
to wait for the next
more.
one.
I'm gonna pull the Big Bear back out for a 24-hour, if not 48-hour
I'll be
streamathon,
here.
where he's gonna be featured on this, guys. Neecs and Culture Kicks to the Moon.
Oh, it's gonna be greasy.
Anybody who shows love to the moon, for real, but like appreciate having you here, dude, making the drive. Like
Yeah.
this guy again is going to lead this industry as well, and like Neecs is the glue, man. Like Neecs is just like the glue. So I appreciate you guys like always coming through, and I'm hyped to have you back and travel the country together this year. 2023 is gonna
I
be great.
can't wait to meet these guys at all these events. And listen, these are the grand prizes for the stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
You don't want to sleep on this.
Yes,
No, sir.
What can they win the Dior's for?
We're gonna start them at $200, $10,000 shoe. Look it up on your favorite app. $10,000.
$200 for this.
So it's a movie for sure, but again, it's just a fun time. Whether you like to ball out or not, it's just fun to interact with everybody and show love, tip, give some people some different things, and meet people like you on there.
Well, the pleasure was all mine. Culture Kicks, thank you for having me out here. This was Neecs After Hours. Neecs to the fucking moon, baby.
To the
Let's
moon.
go.